I don't know. Maybe
Nah,
don't
that
nobody
was
know
wild.
nobody. Everybody is out of the loop. Let me jump into this next conversation. I want to get into this Isis Morales girl a little bit. She was blaming the Sprinkle woman for not blaming her, but just telling her story and saying that she was influenced by and impacted by what the Shera Seven Sprinkle girl was saying about relationships and the type of men that you should talk to and the type of men that you should get into. Check out a little bit of what she was saying.
A lot of people are new to this, but I was true to it because I was following before there was 100,000 subscribers, like me and my sisters, and
That's Shera Seven.
Shera Seven, yes.
And I recently checked out her page, thousands and thousands of views, and she's been doing it for a very long time.
For sure.
Yes. So I was telling every woman that I met in person, like, there's a content creator that makes really good content just about, really, it seemed like how women could take their power back is how it felt. That's how it felt at the time.
He's lying. Do you hear that rumble in the back of her voice?
So you went from...
Well, to be fair, just for the sake of conversation, she had just got done crying.
Yeah, I was about to say she sounded emotional.
And I'm not saying that that's an excuse or anything like that, but I'm just adding context. She had just got done crying. So let me play a little bit more.
From a place of not wanting marriage at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started to want marriage. Was she a part of the reason?
I believe that, you know what? Probably. And I hate to say that, but probably it just seemed more secure for a family. It just seemed right. It just seemed more stable, like we would be on a solid foundation. And I prayed to God about it because, you can subscribe to certain things that people talk about, but you don't have to subscribe to everything that they talk about. And I've always had a relationship with God, and Jesus is the one true Lord. And I prayed about it and asked God to send me the right man. It wasn't just about what he had. It was never about what he had. Because if it was about that, I had a lot of other options with more. And it was really about how he treated my children. Because he seemed to love my boys. And he said, oh, those are my boys. You remind me of my mom. She was a single mom with 2 boys. And I would just love to help you and be there for you and be the man you guys need. Oh my gosh.
So you know what? I want to...
So, basically she says that she didn't blame her for it, but she says that some of the stuff that she was taking in and some of the information that she was taking in was influenced by the Sprinkle girl. What are your thoughts on this? I'm going to go to Carrie first. Hold on. I'm going to go to Carrie first. What are y'all thoughts on this?
Anton, I don't even know who the Sprinkle lady, like who's the Sprinkle
Carrie,
lady?
where have you been at?
I don't know either. It's scary.
I'm so lost right now. Like, what am I commenting on?
I know who this ISIS bitch is, nigga, from fucking
She's the one who said the
Afghanistan.
guy touched her daughter, her
Yeah,
kid,
she
right?
the one that lied.
So I remember her.
Yep, she lied.
Who's Sprinkle and what's she blaming her for?
Sprinkle is this woman. She's been...
Is she
she's a
Shera?
content
Is it the same person as Shera?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But I don't know who Shera is.
She put kind of...
Anton, you could give us the topics ahead of time and I could do my homework.
That's not okay. That would be weird as fuck.
Well, she do
wants
like,
to react to them in real time.
So basically, she kind of like give women advice. Sometimes it's off. She tell women to be mean, and she got some strange points of view, man. Like on her content, man.
Okay, so all right, let me give y'all a little... Jesus.
I've been doing good keeping up with the nonsense that being...
You have, Quentin. I'm going to give you a little bit of credit. Let me see if I
Y'all want
could...
to talk about the drones? I know about the drones.
Oh, she's so true. Pivot.
I'm listening, sir.
Let me see if I can find something. Um, Jesus Christ.
I'm about to go get some high fructose corn syrup.
I'm gonna go to TikTok because TikTok usually has shorter stuff, and then that way I could. Jesus Christ. I can't believe that y'all completely this out of the
Yeah, she
loop.
got some.
What type of
She
content
got some
creators are
wild
y'all?
takes.
I'm just amazed.
What'd you say?
Remember, like a while back, people were talking about men were in their sprinkle era, but I never got what that meant.
No, dudes was saying something
Like when
else.
I think of
They was saying
sprinkles, I think
drizzle,
of
You
drizzle.
mean
like
skeet,
fucking
skeet,
ice
skeet,
cream,
Yeah,
skeet,
ice
skeet?
cream with.
men were saying drizzle, drizzle, to kind of like mock her because she said sprinkle, sprinkle all the time. You know, so men started saying drizzle, drizzle to mock her.
Here, I'll
Yeah,
give you a little bit of sample, okay? Hopefully this help y'all.
Let me tell y'all a secret. And
Hold
some
on.
of y'all might be too late, but for the next time, if you decide to get pregnant, and like I said, babies aren't mistakes. The men that you choose to have them with are the mistakes sometimes. Now listen. If you are going to put your body through all of that, they got to have money, baby. Don't you know that procreating and multiplying another human's DNA cost a lot of money if you were to become a surrogate and you doing it for some free for some dusty? I'm not saying he's dusty because I don't know. Hopefully he's not. But do you know how much you can get paid to have somebody else, baby? And you gonna go and have a Dusty's baby for free while you struggle? No. Know your value. And I tell this to women all the time. Our bodies, our physical bodies are worth more than men's bodies. Alive, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, and in death. I promise you. Oh, Fatima Sprinkle Sprinkle, we are.
So there you go. There's a little sample of who she is and what she's about.
Okay.
She encourages
I've
women to an
never.
extent to get with men that have resources, all of that type of stuff. And so a part of what the ISIS's girl story is that she got with a man that had resources, and then she said that he wound up being a pedo. All right.
Okay, and she's
But what she's
blaming
saying is
Sprinkle
that
Sprinkle
she's
for.
not blaming her. She's saying that she was influenced by some of the stuff that she was saying, that then inspired her to get in certain type of relationships and or document it and talk about it online. All right.
Gotcha.
So thoughts? Let me
Zero.
rephrase the question. How do y'all feel about content creators that then give advice about who you should and shouldn't be talking to in real life? How do y'all feel about the influence of content creators, both men and women? And I'm using her as an example in order to jump into this conversation. But how do y'all feel about content creators that then give advice? And do you think that they need to have more of a background, lived a life, or anything like that? Do y'all think that that should make a bigger impact because people are being influenced by different things that people are saying online? Forget the ISIS
No,
shit, but just in
I
a
don't.
general sense.
I don't think the onus is on the content creator. I think it's on the dumb motherfuckers consuming it. Because I can take Kevin Samuels, for example. Like, all the stuff he's talking about wasn't for every nigga. And you have broke niggas taking what he's saying for gold and thinking they was the fucking top of the food
Like
chain.
what? Give me an example, Quinn.
Just like everything he spoke about was like high value men. And all these lower tier men thought that they was like, he was talking to them. He wasn't talking to you broke. He wasn't talking to you. It's just like, and then at what
I
point
don't know,
do you have,
Quinn,
as
because
a
he was getting
consumer,
on men
as
first.
yeah, you're right. But as a consumer, like, when do you decide, like, if this is for me, or if it's just content, or if it's real life type of stuff? You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
think you can separate it because we're all influenced by the thing that we take in every day.
I think what you got to do is you got to filter through the good advice and the bad advice. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what they say. You got to live your life for yourself. You got to live with the decisions that you actually make. That content creator gonna still be on YouTube talking the same shit or talking some different shit. They could actually change up their narrative on you and be talking something totally different. You have to live your life for yourself. So it doesn't matter how they live in their life or what they doing. What matters is what part of the information are you taking and applying it to your life to make yourself better. That's the most important thing. Because like basically she took information from this motherfucker and ended up breaking her back ultimately. But I think that's a cop out. I think she just found the wrong guy. Because ultimately, what is a content creator telling you that you haven't learned throughout life and that your family and people that are actually close to you haven't told you? Like, you got to have good people around you as well, not just rely on the word of a content creator. Like, you got to surround yourself with people that want to see you do better, that want to check you, that want to tell you real shit. You can't have like half-ass people around you, or you're gonna always lean on something that someone says, and you're gonna take it all in, and then you're gonna run with it. You can't do that. You can't. You'll fuck around and ruin your life.
Hmm. Carrie.
I'm more of a like eat the meat and spit out the bones kind of person. So for me, um, one, if you don't resonate with me, I'm not listening to you anyway. So I'm not gonna, take on your advice even if you haven't lived it, if I don't even connect with what you're saying. But even if I do, I'm still gonna take your thoughts or your advice or your feedback or your whatever through my own processing system. Now, to me, I think in general, there's I hate when people do try to get on as if they're experts like that. That's just more of a not a pet peeve of mine, but that is annoying to me because I think that sometimes people are missing it when they share content. You don't, in my opinion, you don't have to get on as if you're this expert who has mastered all of this stuff and share all of your thoughts. You could just share your perspective based on your experience because again, being somebody who eats the meat, spit out the bones, I can probably take more from you just sharing your perspective, your experience, than you attempting to, like educate and school me on something that you probably haven't mastered yourself. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Um, and I think that that's a part of why, like for Kevin Samuels, for example, at first I really didn't understand why so many women could not grasp the nuggets of wisdom that he was sharing. It's like, well, you're divorced twice and I'm saying to myself, I get it, but at the same time, just because he's been divorced twice, he can't give any of his perspective, his experience that you could possibly utilize. You're so caught up in the delivery. So, I don't know. I think if you can't filter through people, then I don't know, maybe you shouldn't listen to just anybody content creation wise.
I think that I want to get Quentin's take on this also. But I think that people are we're assuming that everybody has discernment or has the ability to be able to filter through the information that's given to them to determine whether it's good for them or not. I think that that's the problem. We assume that everybody has wisdom and understanding and all of that stuff, and I just don't think that that's the case.
I
Oh,
agree with
that's
you.
you got to stay off the internet.
You're
But
not making nobody stay off the internet.
You got to
and
stay
that's
off
the
the
thing.
internet
Like
if you don't have discernment.
I agree there's danger with that, but again, like it's not gonna stop. So you ain't gonna keep people off giving their perspective.
So
So I
you think
say,
that it's fine for everybody to be able to kind of give their opinion, but it doesn't necessarily. I don't know.
you know what I do, how I look at that, Anton. Have y'all heard of Jim Rohn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Jim
Okay.
Rome.
One of the things that one of the things that he says that I love is fall is going to come after spring and winter is going to come after fall. You can sit and ask why, but I wouldn't sign up for that class cuz it's just going to happen. So for me, I could sit and say, I don't think everybody should be able to share. Everybody should be able to have a microphone and give you tons of reasons why, but it's going to happen. So my perspective is knowing that that's what is, now what?
That's valid.
Quentin, let me get your thoughts.
I gave my thoughts first. What you mean?
No, I want to get your thoughts considering the new information that Slimmy and Carrie just said. Do you agree with
I
them? Do you
still
disagree with them?
I still think it's on the. I don't think it's on the content creator now. Because some of it applies to some people, and some people applies and like it doesn't. Like, why is it? If I'm delivering any piece of information, why is it up to me to be like, this ain't for you niggas, this is for you niggas? You know what I mean? Type of thing. I don't.
So y'all
My
don't think
position.
that content creators?
Are you asking us that if people should be speaking on things, or are you asking us how people should be
I just
taking it
want to know
in?
y'all opinion in general of, because see, my perspective is a little bit different because I've been doing it for a little bit while longer, and I believe that it also, I think that anybody can have an opinion. I'm not against anybody having their opinion, creating a show, saying whatever they want to say. The problem that I have is that I also think that we absolve ourselves of responsibility sometimes of some of the stuff that we talk about as content creators, because it's easy to do it and just say what you want to say and just be wild and out of control and stuff, or not really care about how it impacts people when you don't have a pretty significant platform. I think that once you start to get visibility and you start to get, let's just say, 100 people watching you regularly, I think that you have to start being a little bit more mindful, because with more power comes more responsibility. I'm mindful of how I impact my people. I'm mindful of some of the stuff that I say. Um, outside of the entertainment aspect of things, I won't even, I can't tell you how many hundreds of times people have asked me to invest their money. I will never do it. I will give you the information. I'm very careful about the fact that I have to do it before I can advise you on it. Because I understand that it's a lot of people that genuinely come to me and they'll pull up to me in person, or they'll come up to a meetup or whatever, or they'll come to a show and they'll say, "Hey man, I want you to meet my wife because you inspired me to get married," or "You inspired me to keep my family together," or "Hey man, you influenced me to stay in cybersecurity instead of going into gender studies." I see that regularly, and I know that it's still their choice as individuals, but I can't absolve myself of the influence that I may have to impact people to do this or do that. And so
I think
I personally have to take more. I'm more
this.
cautious. I'm more mindful of what I say because I know that that may impact people in a certain way.
But this is like a loaded question. It's like because it depends on like what are you delivering? Like, are you delivering me like a horrible message, and you got this subset of people who's just as horrible as you are, and they're gonna do something about it? Or am I saying, hey, you're a good guy, you're a good guy, you're this kind of good guy, but you're this kind of good guy. I'm talking about these kind of good guys, not these kind of good guys. Like that's like a loaded question.
No, I mean that's
Because I,
fair.
I saw. Well, I didn't even realize until the chat was like, people get demonetized, and clearly, if people get demonetized, somebody don't want you saying it. You know what I mean?
But I don't know about the
Well,
demonetized part. I don't understand that part. What are they saying about demonetized?
They said that. Well, they said if what the content creator says doesn't matter, why do people get demonetized?
No, people get demonetized for other reasons. They be crashing
that's
out and
so.
doing other stuff. That I don't think that demonetization has anything to do with this conversation.
Okay.
Personally,
I
I
don't know.
don't.
I just like ultimately, I think you can listen to it like you're if people should you took out discernment, so I got like my what I feel about it don't even matter no more. Because young people are
Well,
stupid. People are sheep, and they listen to people and then they act on it. And you told me just like what Trump said about January 6th. Like that nigga didn't say do that, but y'all took it like he did. You know what I mean? Y'all took
Yeah.
y'all's ass to the counter. That ain't what he said. But y'all want to do
well,
some fuck nigga shit, so y'all did it anyway.
I think when it comes to like what you posing now, as far as what the content creators are putting out, I think that's just going to depend on what type of person they are and what type of character they have. So they could be a piece of shit, and just pump out all the shit that they know is going to get them money and get them views, or they could actually give people something that's worthwhile, and they could be responsible and add value to people's lives. I think people want to do things in a fast way where they can get the most. I don't think they want to be responsible. I don't think, like, for instance, Derrick Jackson. I don't think he was very responsible with his message. I think he was pandering. That's just my personal opinion. People may disagree.
But
People may disagree, but I
okay,
think it
so
was a
wait,
very,
that's a great
I think that
question,
was a
Slimmy.
dangerous narrative.
Let me ask you a follow up question to that, though, Slimmy. Is it the responsibility of the women that was listening to him that he was pandering to be able to see through the message, or was it his responsibility to not pander and give them bad information for profit?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on your character. That depends on your character. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was a cheater, but he was pandering to women, telling them to get the most out
But
the
there's
men.
people that will say that it doesn't, taking him out of the context, or you can
It
leave it
doesn't
in.
disqualify the message.
Correct.
That's what you, okay. I guess, I mean, it's so many people that I guess a clock is right. A broken clock is right twice a day, right? About twice a day. So I guess it's fair, but I mean, I don't agree with it. I don't think he should be pandering to women, knowing the way that he is. I don't think anyone should pander. Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think you should give genuine, honest information, and in some cases, opinions. But I really think you should base things on facts. Even though, I joke around a lot and I say certain shit, the Michelle Obama shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes
Yeah,
to
you
like,
out on that one.
but when it comes to like serious shit and
I
like,
don't agree with Slimmy on that one part, y'all.
you gotta, you gotta be honest with people, man. You gotta be genuine.
I don't
And
think
Derrick
so.
Jackson, he knew he wasn't genuine. You know what I'm saying? And there's other examples all over the internet. All over the internet where you could just be like, well, you're not keeping it 100. So it all depends on your character and what type of person you are. What are you trying to do for the internet? Are you just trying to get money? Or are you trying to give solid information and have a solid base? I remember, Anton, you got into a debate with with your homeboys, and I think one of them was Kevin Samuels and the lead attorney. And it was basically about this: having a true following over having millions of followers. You on mute, but having a true following,
No,
and
I
and
know
I
what you're
think,
saying. I know what you're saying.
yeah, and I think if you're genuine and you keep it real and you just honest with people and you give them good information, solid information from your heart, and they know that you're trying to do right, your following will be infinite and it'll be organic. Your following will be infinite. It might not be right away, but eventually people gonna know that you authentic and they gonna fuck with you no matter what.
Yeah, the
They're not gonna
conversation
listen.
was, would you rather have a million subscribers in general? The question was, would you want to have a million subscribers? And I said, I'd rather have 100,000 people that really love me than a
Yeah,
million people, that's fair weather. And they was
yeah.
like, you capping, and the chat was like, you capping, you wrong, and all of that. And I said, no, I would rather have 100,000 people that really, really, really rock with what I'm saying and was straight up hardcore my people versus a million people on subscribers, because I know people that have a million subscribers. That don't mean that they doing anything. They ain't making no money. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And
so
the thing is,
that
though,
was a debate, and everybody said I was wrong. I think that I was right still.